Yes, it is true. First, let me discuss what insulin, a hormone made by the pancreas, does for you in the body. The major nutrients you consume daily in your food are carbs, fats, and proteins. Carbs are digested and converted into simpler sugars called glucose for absorption easily through your gut. This sugar gets into your bloodstream through the portal veins to enter the liver. Insulin helps you to courier the sugar into your liver, fat deposits, and muscles for storage and use for energy. It is same with petrol you pump into your car to provide energy to run. So basically, insulin helps you to maintain a normal sugar level in your bloodstream, preventing blood sugar spikes. When the blood sugar is high, we call it hyperglycemia, and too low, we call it hypoglycemia. Insulin secreted by your pancreas responds well by the cells in your body with no evidence of resistance in healthy people with no diabetes, obesity, including other metabolic diseases. We call this insulin sensitivity. Exercise alone can increase your insulin sensitivity. It refers to how sensitive the body cells are in response to insulin. In insulin resistance, the cells in your muscles, fat, and liver don't respond well to insulin, and as a result, sugar seems to remain in your bloodstream and can't use glucose from your blood for energy. High insulin sensitivity allows the cells of the body to use blood glucose for more actively reducing blood sugar. Low insulin sensitivity is known as insulin resistance, we are about to discuss today. Now let's discuss about the insulin resistance syndrome. It is a group of conditions such as obesity, too much of fat in the belly, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and type 2 diabetes occurring in adults. As insulin resistance develops, your body fights back by producing more insulin. Insulin has a hand in every kind of disease is a current thought. With more resistance to the functions of insulin in the body, you seem to get sick, according to Dr. Ben Bikman, a researcher and associate professor. According to the associate professor, many root causes of diseases such as heart disease, hypertension, kidney disease, diabetes, Alzheimer's, obesity, migraine, ovarian diseases, infertility, prostate disease are all caused by insulin resistance. According to him, every person diagnosed as a chronic disease should have a glucose tolerance test to check whether one has insulin resistance.
Why we get sick, I contend that much of chronic disease, non-infectious, of course, is in some way connected to insulin resistance. This one single problem. So you imagine this sort of this tree of illness, and all these different disorders that we focus on by looking at the branches. We're looking at hypertension, we're looking at infertility, we're looking at dementia, and migraines in some instances. And we would want to, conventional medicine would have us just treating each of those separate disorders individually. And yet, when we can acknowledge that there is, to varying degrees, a connection with one single disorder, with insulin resistance, then we can just address the insulin resistance and start taking care of all of the seemingly distinct disorders.
A good example is that in type 2 diabetes, it is most sensible to lower the insulin resistance rather than pumping in more insulin to normalize the blood sugar levels. What all this means is to keep your insulin levels healthy. Too much of protein eaten along with fat may lead to insulin resistance. Not only a high carb diet, but also increased consumption of high protein, high fatty diets among obese people also can produce insulin resistance and diabetes. What was found by Dr. Chris Newgard, PhD, Duke metabolism researcher, is that certain amino acids from the high protein diet affects the metabolism and cause insulin resistance.
We think is significant in the obese compared to the lean subjects is that these particular amino acids, these 3 among 20, were elevated in the blood of the obese subjects, as well as several of the breakdown products of this little gang of amino acids.
Moderation in diet is important to prevent insulin resistance. Remember, in ketogenic diet, you are allowed to eat ad lib amounts of dietary fats and proteins to produce energy from ketone bodies. This diet can cause insulin resistance. Diet plays an important part in reducing insulin resistance. As you know, insulin resistance increases your risk for developing prediabetes, type 2 diabetes, and most chronic non-communicable diseases. Insulin resistance is also an early warning sign for other chronic diseases. Healthy lifestyle choices, including regular exercise and eating a balanced diet, are important. Generally, it is the best to choose whole, unprocessed foods and avoid highly processed and prepared foods. I hope this article was useful. Thank you for watching.